Hello, everybody. I hope you are well today. I want to do this video to talk to you about tips for writing and journaling to discover yourself and grow. I'm going to talk to you about why you journal, and I'm going to give you some guidance on what might help you to get started on your journey. But it's important for you to realize that this is your journey, and your journey can be whatever it wants to be. You don't need to read it in a book. You don't need to hear it from me. You don't need someone else to tell you. I want to point you towards trusting in your own wisdom and what is helpful, what isn't helpful, and how to get started, really, which is a huge thing. And at the end of the video, I'll give you some details on how you can get in touch with me if you'd like to learn more about my work. So journaling is one strategy. It's not the end all be all. If it doesn't work for you, then that's absolutely fine, But a lot of people start with the journaling, they try it once, they plan on doing it every day, they try it once, then they don't do it after the first day, and then they decide it doesn't work for them. And I would really encourage you that if you're going to try journaling, that you do it for at least 2 weeks, and preferably every day, to build a practice. What I would do is start with less time. So maybe start with 10 minutes for your journaling, and build it up to 20 minutes or more. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But journaling is a useful tool for us to help us to access our creative flow, our free expression, to go deeper and explore our own experience, to raise our self-awareness, and it's a useful reflection to release built up stress and emotions. And it can calm and clear the mind of its clutter as well. So start this. What I'm talking to in the first place is stream of consciousness, and stream of consciousness writing is free writing. So it's an unfiltered flow. You don't want to be judging it. You don't want to reread it. You don't want to give it to someone else to read it. You don't want to even think about grammar or punctuation. So when you're writing, if you're writing, you're halfway through the sentence and your mind goes somewhere else, go somewhere else. Don't, let it flow. And this is a practice, because so most of us, we're constrained or we're restricted or by what we believe something needs to be. And especially if we have tendencies towards perfectionism, we want to write in a nice book. We want the writing to be nice with a nice pen. We want it to be a certain way. We want to control what our experience is. We want to know what we've learned. Or we don't learn anything and we say, oh, well, that doesn't work. Journaling doesn't work for me. So first of all, this is about you. This is about your experience. This is everything I'm saying is just guidance to point you and help you get started. So the first thing I'd say is to begin. So begin with, I would say, begin with 5 minutes, preferably 10 minutes, but build up to 20 minutes or more. Really, if we're writing for 5-10 minutes, we'll often just be writing surface level stuff. And as we allow ourselves to be more free and to express ourselves on the page, we'll find that we'll go deeper into our experience, and who knows where we'll go. It can take us anywhere. And I would suggest the timing of day is quite important. First thing in the morning, is ideal, or last thing at night. It's kind of when your mind is a little bit more free, your subconscious mind is a little bit more open. Like if you think about it, you've been dreaming in the nighttime, and so your mind is kind of gone to different places. So you start writing in the morning. It's a really good time to write. So you can either write in like, and you can get a nice book and a nice pen. You can do that. That's okay. Or you can just use an A4 jotter. So what I do, and I'm not necessarily right. I just do what works for me. But I tend to use, for my stream of consciousness, I just use an A4 jotter. And then what I do is I reflect on my experience at the end of my journaling, and anything that I've learned, that I want to pick up with my coach, that I want to just remember, that a question maybe that's come up that I want to reflect on a little bit more. Maybe I've been reading books, maybe I've been talking to a wise person in my life, or watched YouTube clips. And I like to keep my nice book and my nice pen for recording all that learning, because this is what I'm going to go back and look at again. The A4 pad, I keep it beside, and depends on where you're going to write. You might want an A5 pad that fits in your handbag or in your briefcase, or that you can take with you easily, but you want to keep this journal next to your bed, where you're going to sleep at night, and you want to keep it safe. Take it with you when you go away, but you want to keep it safe. So you don't want to burn it or get rid of it when you're writing. You can get rid of it down the road, at some point, in 6 months' time or whatever. You might have a little bonfire outside and put all your journals on there as a little ceremony. You might do that. But when you're writing, when you're going through this process, keep it close, keep it safe. If your unconscious mind believes that you're going to get rid of it, it doesn't like it. And a lot of these things are going on unconsciously. So so the first big point is begin. And the resistance is a thing with journaling and in life. And so I want to encourage you to, if you decide you're going to write for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, commit to that. So set an alarm for 5 or 10 minutes and write until the alarm goes off. So resistance to what is, our mind will jump in and say, no, I'm not going there. I don't want to do this. You've got too much to do. I'm too busy. The dishwasher is going off. I'm cold. I need to go get a blanket. This is boring. I don't know what to write. Okay, so all of this is the resistance that will show up to to going deeper into your experience. So it's really important that whatever you decide you're going to do, you stick to. So if you're going to do 5 minutes, do 5 minutes and set the alarm to make sure you do. Now, if you write for 20 minutes, that's okay. 5 minutes will be the minimum. And over time, I don't want to be too restrictive here. I think you want to go with what your wisdom is telling you to do. I love writing, so for me it didn't take me long to get to 20 minutes or more. So, and I at this point now I wouldn't need to time myself to write, and also my writing has changed slightly as well. But when I started, it didn't take me long to get to 20 minutes because I like it. But for you, it might be over a longer period. But get comfortable at 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And when you get to 20, then keep going for a couple of weeks when you get to 20, and then explore what your experience is. So it's important that with your writing that it's free. It's free writing. It's unfiltered. It flows. You don't want to reread it or think about it. You don't want to think about grammar. You don't want to be thinking about anything. There's no judgment. There's no comparison. There's no pressure here, and there's no censorship. This has got to be just whatever it feels like for you. So so don't edit yourself. Just write and keep going until the alarm goes off, or until even when it makes kind of no sense to keep writing, or you're struggling to find something to write about. Go wherever the writing takes you. The focus is on exploration, deep reflection. It's not on producing a product. It's not on anybody ever reading this or seeing it. In fact, when I write in my journal and stream of consciousness, I purposefully write with really rubbish writing because I know that nobody else can read it. And I tend to kind of write and I'm not really looking at the page sometimes in my mind. So so some prompts for you for your practice is maybe think about what makes you feel connected to your body. Just write about that. How do challenges help you learn about yourself? The challenges that you're facing on a daily basis. Write down how you are feeling and what you notice right now. Maybe reflect on a recent experience, something that happened in your life in a relationship with family, partner, at work, or something even that you've kind of watched a movie or watched something on the news. Write about your dream or a memory. Maybe explore a dilemma, a decision that you're trying to make, something that you're flip-flopping with and can't decide. Write about what you're grateful for. And maybe you might want to write a letter to yourself, dear Margo, and just write, you know, um, and just let your mind wander freely. Be curious. And if you don't know what to write, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. I really don't know what to write. And if you write that for 5 minutes, you most likely you won't. You'll write it, and then all of a sudden something will appear in your head, and you'll start writing. So this journaling is about learning another way for you to work with, to be with your resistance that shows up for you. It is about flow. And, there comes a point when your journaling can become, okay, this is my experience. Journaling can become where we kind of circle around in a swamp. And at a certain point, this can become unhelpful, but it's much further down the road. And if you get to that point and you're finding it not helpful, then, there are other ways of continuing to write and to go deeper into your experience and to question your reality. And I'm not going to confuse you by going into that right now. Right now, I want you just to keep your focus on beginning to write, to journal, to do some free writing, to set a timer, to notice your resistance, the time of day, last thing at night or first thing in the morning, to like have an unedited free flow of writing. And what this does, this is part of your self-care practice. We are who we are in relation to ourselves is who we are in relationship to other people and to other events and things in our life. So this is a really important part of you working with the relationship to yourself. So it is part of your self-care practice if you're willing to go on this journey. And so I wish you the best of luck with this. And if you would like to get in contact with me and ask me some questions, I'd love to hear how it's going. Just find me on my website, margogeorge.com, or you can email me at info@margogeorge.com. I'd love to, or comment below, or subscribe. I'd love to hear I'd love to hear how you're going and offer you support with this practice, because writing has truly been, oh, I say lifesaver. Like, writing has been the most wonderful, reflective, deep, exploratory practice. I find myself on the page, and I love that. And I'd love for you to find that too. So the best of luck. Love to hear from you.